So we agree there. Again, another 6-6 matchup. This time, South Alabama matching up with Eastern Michigan. I looked over Eastern Michigan, man, just a quick while ago before the show started. It's kind of like you were saying with Ohio, but maybe even more so. Like I just no one stands out to me.
Yeah.
I put the quarterback here because he's got some of the statistics, but like running back wise, they're not putting up a huge total. Wide receiver wise, I think they had like maybe I'll just pull it up again, but I think they only had like 2 guys in 300-400 yardage areas.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sam. I'm looking at Samson Evans, 635 yards on 142 carries and 12 touchdowns. The 12 touchdowns is admirable. I mean, that's respectable.
Right.
But I'm not impressed by anything else. And then their top receiver, Tanner Kuhn, or whatever, however the hell you say that, 50 receptions for 479 yards and 3. Okay. What do you want me to do? 3-year party? I'm not impressed.
This is let's see the line. Okay, so here's to tell you the disparity between the MAC and the Sun Belt when both teams are 6-6 coming in. Vegas is favoring South Alabama in this one by 15.5 points.
Yeah, and I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
So go back and look no further than what South Alabama did against Oklahoma State and a few other teams. They weren't consistent with it, and so they're going to get a knock for that. I mean, they end the season 6-6 after being a favorite to win the West before the season started, so not great in that regard. Sure. But they can still do it. They can still. They got Webb on their side. They got Carter Bradley back there. They got Colin Lacey. So I mean, they've got playmakers. This one could be even uglier than JMU versus Air Force, I think. I mean, really and truly, if they play up to their potential, it really could get out of hand quickly.
Yeah, because South Alabama's not a true 6-6 team.
No, they're definitely better than that.
Yeah,
they're not much better than that because of the consistency factor. But yeah, they are still better than that.
Also, too, and just like Captain America said, the Sun Belt is East is stout.
Yeah.
Same thing for the West. I mean, just the whole conference in general. I mean, football is just different. And I hate to keep saying it because it sounds like you're being a homer. It sounds like you live in the South, so you think the South. It's like picking SEC or it's the truth is the truth. Athletes in the South are bigger, stronger, and faster. Like a team like Georgia, a team like Florida, Florida State, Alabama, Texas, these schools, Mississippi State, LSU, they don't really have to go outside of their state if they don't want to recruit.
Nope.
Because they're right. I mean, they're right, but they can go outside, at a local high school down the street and see a starting running back next year. I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, most of and really, when I even going back to my days at App State, probably half of our offense was from Atlanta. Well, the drive from Atlanta to Boone is only 3 hours. So, it's just right down 85. So essentially, you're just recruiting your own area.
Yeah.
It's just football is just different here. It just is.
We're going to get to a cool little fact Artie has in just a second, but on one of the College Football Dogs podcasts earlier this season, somehow I coined the phrase "sweet Southern speed," and that is to me the biggest difference. There's big guys all over the country, and you got the Iowa, Minnesota guys that are just corn-fed and big husky dudes that are strong, but they ain't fast. Right. And down in the South here, we've got the guys that are just as big and way faster. And I think that's why you've seen SEC be the dominant force in college football for so long. And John Summerall, Troy's head coach, just said after the championship game, this is like a mini SEC. And there's no disagreement here in my mind after what I've seen. So, yeah, I totally agree with you and what you've just said there. Artie says that random football history here from the MAC. Eastern Michigan used to be the Hurons, which I believe is a type of fish. Only Central Michigan kept a native name. Western switched to the Broncos. So, yeah, I wasn't even aware of Western switching by the time I've really been paying attention to football. They've been the Broncos that I can remember. But, maybe I just didn't notice that beforehand. Yeah, I definitely did not know that. Central Michigan is the Chippewas. I do know that, so they've kept that. It is cool, to have something that's your own.
What is a Chippewa?
I think it's a tribe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like the Seminoles, like Florida State Seminoles. Like I think it's Chippewas were, but yeah.
I guess I got the internet right in front of me. I could have just Googled it.
Right. If only we could look this up.
Right. Right.
Oh, I was wrong about the fish. Huron is an Indian tribe, so I was way off.
Okay. But a heron is a fish, right? A blue heron or something.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
So that's maybe what you were thinking of. A heron,
probably spelled
either
differently.
fish or a bird or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I was thinking of it's probably spelled
we don't
differently.
need mascot trivia tonight. This is not that's not our forte. I know what a mountaineer is. I know that.
It's a Wednesday night. This is too much thinking for that.
Right.
So Artie says they were all named after local. I mean, that's a pretty cool fact. And it's kind of sad in the fact that, history has to change all the time, right? I mean, we can't just, appreciate it and keep it around because, if these names were still here, we would know these things more likely, right, TJ? I mean, like that's the weird thing about it, right? So anyway, Big Ten backers, they're still here. They might have left, but they're back. Agreed. And it's the Great Lake. I didn't know it was great, and I think that's probably why I was thinking fish in my head.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's my excuse anyway. But
stick with